Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, LPM managers, to another Jedi show stream where we are heading to deadline day of Game Week 37, the penultimate fixtures of the season. Welcome, Azmin. How's your feeling? Especially after FA Cup final yesterday.
Ding! So happy for Liverpool to secure trophy number two. Once again due to penalties, but still there's still mixed feelings because of injuries that we've picked up, and and a big question for game week 37 is Salah, who had to be substituted in the first half. I was worried about Allison during the match because he had a collision with one of the Chelsea players, but a few minutes later it was Salah who ended up getting substituted. So that's something that we need to consider.
Yep, there will be effect, especially the team selection for this week. We know
Mm.
about Salah. We are definitely unsure about his fitness, especially coming to game week 37, especially for free hit team. I think that's a bit changes as we can see a lot of tweet and also managers that say that all the preparation before this picking Salah in the team is now mostly maybe gone. So
Yeah.
I have made some changes to my team also. Later we'll see.
Already?
Yeah. Okay, man. I think let's jump
Okay.
straight to Game Week 37 fixtures
Yes.
where we
Yeah.
know
Let's do this.
there'll be five teams playing twice this week, which is Leicester, Burnley, Everton, Aston Villa, and Crystal Palace. Those are the teams
Yeah.
that play twice, and a lot of managers will have their mind and eye on the players of these teams. So the fixture will be at 7 p.m. tonight. Kick off with Spurs versus Burnley. Okay, there'll be a lot of interest, especially on Spurs exact. Then at 9 p.m. we have Villa versus Crystal Palace, Leeds United versus Brighton, Watford versus Leicester, West Ham versus Man City, and Wolves versus Norwich. We can see that what around five picture that will be spoil of choice for tonight. Okay? Whether you see which match that you're interested to see, okay? But our eye will definitely on Man City asset. Then at 11:30 p.m. Everton versus Brentford, and then on Monday night itself on 3 a.m. Okay, or is it Tuesday night? Newcastle versus
Monday.
Arsenal. So those are the fixture. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will be played instead of the usual 10. And on those midweek, there'll be another four fixture that will be played, uh, which involve Southampton versus Liverpool, Everton versus Crystal Palace, Villa versus Burnley, and also Chelsea versus Leicester. We can see that. So those are the fixture, man. I think we jump straight. What's the news, especially
Mm.
on the
Yeah.
Spurs teams and versus Burnley? Over to you, man.
Okay, so now we're looking at Spurs, and it looks like so we know that Skerrigano's out, but Christian Romero is now out as well after he suffered an injury during the match against Liverpool. So this is, well, I guess this is still quite significant as well. Although to be fair, Sanchez is should be okay. So everyone else should be fine. We know that Kulusevski, Kane, and Son should be the top three, front three, sorry. And we know that, remembering that Spurs' last two matches, one is Burnley, and then in game week 38 they play Norwich. So it's pretty much really attractive to pick up Spurs players now. And to make it more attractive, on the Burnley side, we've got injuries. So it looks like Tarkowski might be out. Okay, so we know that Tarkowski had a problem before. Um, so now he says still waiting on his hamstring. So that's not looking good. However, Maxwell Cornet should be back. So he didn't start well, he was on the bench in game week 36, and um he came off the bench and actually scored. So obviously he's definitely gonna return to the starting lineup, because um I can't see the interim manager starting with both Ashley Barnes and Weghorst, because they're really really slow, and not that's not gonna work against um the Spurs defense. Yeah, so that's it. But the good thing, obviously, Burnley is they're almost towards safety,
Yep.
thanks to Leeds. Yeah, so if they can secure at least a draw, I think that'd be it could pretty much see. But of course, they'll need to want to win. So
Yep.
it's a case of just trying to get what they can. On
Yep.
Spurs side, we know that Spurs are suddenly closer to that top four spot, after we thought that they would be cut adrift, because they surprisingly won against Arsenal 3-0, which was
Yep.
something totally unexpected on our side.
So I feel, as you mentioned, Tarkowski might be out. Collins and Long could be the starting centre back. It will be very enticing, especially on the Son and Kane partnership. It could be a high scoring game, even though Burnley is still in the fight for safety. Okay, they are almost there, but they still need points. They are on level with Leeds United right now, but only better off in terms of goal difference. So Burnley do play twice also this week, man. So maybe if let's say manager still interested on Burnley asset, I think the White Horse and Connect is the only way you go. But I feel there's more interest on other players. I mean, you're on mute.
Spurs themselves are chasing that Champions League qualification, so it's going to be really tough for Burnley. They may need to get their points elsewhere, but yeah.
Yep, yep. So I think that's about it. Spurs will definitely put their strong team. If let's say Romero is out, then Sanchez will come in, and the rest should be the same lineup.
Yeah.
Next one, also interest, is actually Villa and Crystal Palace, because both are playing twice also this week. We know that the uncertainty of Oli Watkins, especially, would like to know what's the news now.
So the problem with Watkins is we know that previously they haven't trained at all, since the last PC, which was from Steven Gerrard's last PC on Friday. So now it's a case of whether or not he did coming on Saturday. We're not sure. I did I did scour through the forums and didn't find anything. Uh, Jacob Ramsey, however, should be back, and that's good. But of course, the thing is that, to be fair, Villa have been doing decently without Ramsey, so I don't know if he'll shuffle it. Yeah, but he probably will. He probably will, though, simply because Aston Villa have played also double match this week, and will play another double this week as well.
Yep. With this Villa uncertainty, it looks like the predicted lineup that I can see is Danny Ings gonna lead the attack in terms of Villa, and then being supported with Coutinho and Bundia. Looks like that's gonna happen.
Yep. So definitely Ings should be the person, and definitely he comes into our thinking. Coutinho, the problem with Coutinho is he hasn't produced for the past few weeks now, so quite it has become a problem. And for those looking for free hit, yeah, Coutinho doesn't look attractive at the moment. But the thing is, for those who are not, because they probably planned for this game week 37, so probably may already have Coutinho, so you probably still play him anyway. Uh,
Yep,
I'd
yep.
like I'd like to welcome Crystal Palace to the double game week party. Crystal Palace have hardly ever joined the double game week party, simply because they've been able to play their matches for whatever reason. I can't remember whether they were ever involved, aside from the time when everyone was involved. So uh, so the problem with Crystal Palace, of course, is that they don't do so well away from home. But in terms of the injuries, so we know that based on the tweet, MacArthur is unavailable, and we also know that Joel Ward and Michael Olise, the winger, were absent. Did not play in Saturday's open training session. So this is so Olise, who could have been an option, would not happen. Mark Guel, the first choice centre back, they did play. So in the training session, so uh, it looks like Patrick Vieira will have his first choice centre back pairing, and obviously everyone's keen on Zaha, so Zaha will definitely play. So the problem is who else is in the front there. It's a bit of a toss up because there hasn't been any consistency, so we're not sure. So a safe play would be Zaha, of course. Gallagher has fallen off a cliff in terms of his FPL points.
Yep.
He doesn't seem to be involved much in the attack, and in terms of his attacking stats, he didn't. Yeah, he hasn't really surfaced anymore as he did in the first half of the season. So
As we know, this is always the situation where people are not mentioning and then they perform. It could be Gallagher week this week, like you mentioned before.
like this week's KDB. so yeah, it could be. I mean, it does depend on how teams approach the match. Both teams are relatively safe. They got nothing to play for. So we don't know. And even Steven Gerrard, he may actually blood some players if he wants to see some more and then see what people are capable of, because they can do that now. And for this could be likely for Crystal Palace as well, because um, you would think that at home they will play, which is their last match, they will want to play their full strength because they want to sign off the league with a good win
Yep.
in front of their
Absolutely.
fans. But away to Villa, who knows? Vera might shake it up, but I wouldn't worry about someone like Zaha, because Zaha is definitely key, and he takes penalties
Yep.
as well. So
Yep.
I expect
There's
him
a
to continue to start.
Yeah, I think that's another point. He take penalty. The last two matches, he actually produced points in 11
Yeah,
and 6. So
yeah.
I think he's the obvious one. If let's say you're interested in Pillars, I think he's the one. Other than other option, I'm not too sure. So Zaha is the one.
Yeah.
Next one, Leeds versus Brighton. It's a single game week. Brighton do on high after last week wins against Manchester United, but Leeds really desperate for points. This is the one playing home, the last one of the season. Do you what do you think about both team in terms of their team sheet?
Well, Leeds are looking really, really bad right now. In terms, okay, additional players, Stuart Dallas, he's also out for the season.
Yeah.
One of the last, who used to be a great fantasy pick last season, but this year
Yep.
not so much
One of
because
the
of,
core team. Yep.
yeah, he was of a change of position. But also Luke Ayling and Daniel James, who both got sent off, will also miss in previous matches. Will also miss this match. And to be fair with Luke Ayling, it's not a it's not a bad thing that he's not gonna play, because his discipline has been really problematic in the past few matches. So unfortunately, so that does mean in at the back they're a bit short. Yeah. So a lot of speculation is how they're going to line up. Maybe Koch will play at the back together with Lorente and Cooper, but we don't know. But okay, so Rafinha is fine apparently because he had some cramp earlier, but he should be okay. Let's forget about Patrick Bamford. Brighton are pretty much in good nick, and it's just a case of who's going to start up front. And from the looks of it, Welbeck has pretty much dislodged Mopé from the starting lineup. So Brighton are in good touch at the moment. We know that they, in their last outing, they trashed Manchester United, didn't they? It was
Yep.
4-0.
Yep.
So Brighton should be looking good, and Leeds. Of course, the thing is, Leeds are desperately need to win this game, yeah, because they are short by one game compared to Burnley, but tied on points. Uh, but it's not looking good for Leeds really.
Yep. I feel desperate time for Leeds, but if you still have Rafinha, I feel it's time to move on. Definitely, there are less interest on these players from these two teams, especially because a lot of other options from double game week players. So I feel that's the way you go. If you still have Brighton players, maybe you keep him. I don't know, Trossard if you have him. This could be another game of high scoring, especially on the
Mm,
Brighton side. But other than that, less interest for these two teams. Yep.
yeah.
Next one, Watford versus Leicester. Leicester do play two games, but you know the unpredictability on Rogers players. But is there any news that we can actually take and put players from the teams Leicester inside our team? Yep.
Well, we saw Watford's outing last week, and they just couldn't score, and it looks like, you know, all those players are also out, still out. And the worst thing is two of the key members, which is in the attack, which is Ismail Issa and Emmanuel Dennis. Those are the two that they been relying on to try to get something. They're out as well, so it's not looking great for Watford. However, that does mean that it looks good for those with Leicester defensive assets. And we saw Fofana who was benched in the second match, but apparently according to the tweet, Rogers says that he'll be back. So looks like he'll probably start back. Leicester have been able to avoid any injuries after their midweek match. So as you say, it's a case of rotation. However, I think that Leicester after now, no, they no longer have Europe, but Leicester Stars, they're gonna fight and try to gain as much points as they can.
Yep. I think there's still interest in terms of Madison and Barnes, but now
Yep.
people are looking also to Vardy since the
Yes.
Salah news says a lot of managers also looking at that option in terms of Leicester. But if we hear any news that Vardy might start this game against Watford, who has been awful in terms of their form, even though at home, I think that could be the one.
Yeah. So with Vardy, of course, we worried that he may not be able to play two matches in a row. Having said that, he is capable of returning in just one game. So,
Yep.
but of course, we want that game to be. I mean, it's more likely that that game could be the game against Watford. However, with also Chelsea losing, last night. Who
Yep.
knows
Yep.
what mentality Chelsea will be in, and Leicester could exploit that.
Yep. I agree. Okay. Let's go to the next one. West Ham versus Man City. Both are playing only single game this week, but Man City, especially the back-to-back big result, 5-0 and Newcastle and then Wolves after double game with 36. Also, definitely a lot of interest. What's the latest news for both teams, man?
Okay, for West Ham, one of the stars of last week, which is Said Ben Rama, is now a question mark. So it really is a case. Of course, definitely they'll like him to be fit, but I doubt he'll be fit. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, that's what Moyes says as well. So Antonio, who didn't start the last match, and now Craig Dawson, train should be okay.
All right. If we can see here in terms of Man City asset, if let's say Laporte are not able to play, then some Diaz also will be out for the season. A lot of concerns in terms of back line for City. But if let's say he's fit, he come in. If not, then Rodim and also Ake could be the centre back partnership. Might not be the first option, but still strong. I think against West Ham, this, if let's say there is any dropping point from Man City, this could be the one that a tough one. West Ham, even though they are out from Europe, they now can really put a strong team to give a fight, at least for Man City. But still, Man City have the capability to score big points, even though the likes of the strong team like West Ham. All right. Let's go to Wolves versus Norwich. Both team are playing single game weeks only this week also. But okay, there could be a punt that we can take from Wolves team against Norwich, who has been no motivation after their recent confirmed relegated to Championship. Okay, in terms of Wolves team, Bruno Lage says that Wolves have the same squad. Okay, but size could be missed out again. Okay, so that's it. But Boli Cody partnership can easily be a strong partnership. Okay, they should not be worried. Boli, Cody, and Totti up front. Sorry, at back line, but Neto and Jimenez could start up front again. I mean,
Yeah, so with Wolves now, it's not very attractive, is it? But then they are playing. Yeah, but they are playing Norwich though. So yeah, for a single match, who knows? Because we've seen that Norwich even now they've been relegated for a while now, and they still haven't shown any fight. So it's a gamble that could pay off.
Yeah. But I don't trust any Wolves. I said if you want to try a cheap one, maybe Neto. I'm not sure how much is he, but the rest I'm not too sure. I want to go there. There's more other better options in the double game week players. All right, let's go to the next one, which is Everton versus Brentford. A lot of interest, especially on Richarlison punya asset. Okay, in terms of bringing him in, or if you already bring him in last week, because Everton do play double like Villa, but Brentford is not a walkover. They still want to finish the season on the high, and against Everton almost there, but they still need point, or maybe they need to drop point to confirm this week. So what's the latest mean for both teams? You're on mute.
Sorry, the top two the Everton picks are Richarlison and Gordon. So yeah, so they're fine, and definitely they should be with the squad. So now it's a case of which one you will pick. A lot of interest there. Yeah, the thing is Brentford are not the type of team, although they did end up losing last match, but then I still see Brentford as a team that is probably going to put up a good fight, even though they're safe and have nothing to play for. But they just want to celebrate their first season back in the Premier League, and now they definitely got another season to look forward to.
Yep.
On Brentford side, so it mentions no changes. Sergi Canos is available, but your key FPL picks, Ericsson, Tony, and maybe Mbeumo, they're all fit. But yeah, I mean, and it, of course, we're not likely, especially those who are free hitting, aren't likely to pick up Brentford assets simply because they want to go for Everton assets only.
Yep. So in terms of Everton, they both play the games at home, so definitely interest in terms of their defense, or even their keeper Pickford, who has been feel good form in terms of saving, and they could easily keep one of these game of clean sheet. So that's the interest. And think Richardson for now, I think there also some concern about their flare incident, but I think he is cleared now to play, and hope and in terms of injury also looks like Lampard didn't mention that he has any recurrence in terms of their injury, so Richardson should be okay in terms of pick. Min, you're mute. Yeah.
I forgot. Sorry, I forgot about that flare incident. That was just so weird. Why would you risk risk getting banned unnecessarily? Yeah, so he got lucky there.
All right. Last but not least, Newcastle versus Arsenal. I think there's no press from Michael Arteta, but Newcastle is still there. Arsenal do lost the last game training against Spurs, so their in terms of their moral could be a bit disrupted. So, do you have any latest news? Yes.
Yeah, it's certainly for Newcastle. The good thing is that we've got. I mean, we saw that last weekend Trippier and Callum Wilson came back, uh, and Fabian Shah, who was also on the bench, so he should return to the starting lineup. The thing, but however, they have lost Jonjo Shelvey and Willock, so those some of the key players in the second half of the season, of course. Ryan Fraser back in training, so that's good. But it's again, we're not really
Yep.
looking at Newcastle assets right now. We on the
I don't
Arsenal
know.
side.
I don't know about Shah. Is he's okay, or maybe his place already not secure in terms of Jamal Leslie coming back. So maybe
Huh?
I don't know.
I think Shah has locked in that starting, and he should start. So I don't
Okay,
see
all right.
a worry for those who are not on free
This,
hits.
yep, this could be a tough one for Arsenal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, the thing is, it's Toon's last match at home, and I think they're gonna put up a bit of fight because they're gonna look forward to uh next season where they probably gonna still buy some more solid players out to add to their some of their key players. Um, on the Arsenal side, so Arsenal surprisingly lost 3-0 to Spurs. I have to say it was surprising to me, but because I would have thought they would at least score a goal, but they didn't. Uh, so same injuries as previously. You got Tierney out, you got Partey out. Everyone else is pretty much
Yep.
case out.
White has been disappointing me last week. I don't know whether he's cleared to play.
So he was on the bench against Spurs. So I don't know, but the problem is now Gabriel.
That's I
What's
think
his
that's a big
surname?
news. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
Gabriel
big news.
out is gonna hurt. Mm. And
And without holding also because red carded. So I don't know. I can see that predicted lineup Tomiyasu in in centre back position. So I'm not too sure.
okay, that's a tough one. Yeah, so it was really gonna hurt Arsenal in their defense, especially if Newcastle are gonna try to
Yep.
finish at White at St James Park and want to sign off with a good win.
Yep. All right. Let's go to just have a look. What's the bandwagon for this week? This latest one I snapshot, and we can see the likes of later we can see Egyptian is among the top 5 transfer out. First one, Richardson attract 253,000 managers. Is the top players coming in this week. And then we can see slightly lower there, Zaha at 250,000. Okay, no surprise, both players are playing twice this week. Nikitia, maybe after his brace, 15 points last week. People are interested. He's still cheap enough to get in your team. 230,000 managers has agreed on that. San continue his good form. He's chasing for the golden boot. He could nick it from Salah. His 225,000 has already bring him in. And KDB, a monstrous 4 goals and 30 points last week. 198,000 has belief in KDB to bring in this week. On the transfer for top 5 transfer out, Dennis the one, then second one Salah, maybe after the news of injury yesterday match, he also the second most transferred out. Laporte, he's not confirmed or playing. His doubt in terms of his minutes now. He he's not trained yet, is it? And Laporte is the third one, 135,000. Mount Ayo, Mount after his missed penalty yesterday, maybe because of that. I don't know. 125,000 apart from him, and then Saka,
Yeah.
121,000 managers. So, what do you make about this transfer, man?
Well, yeah, obviously the most popular picks who are also happen to be in form are Richard Allison and Zaha, and even Nketiah. Even even though Nketiah missed, he had a few chances against Spurs. He blanked. Even though he blanked, but it looks like the FPL managers aren't blaming him for that, simply because it was um, it was a poor performance by Arsenal, and getting Van Holding sent off was always going to be a problem. So, and Son and KDB off the back of, as you mentioned, off the back of some decent, good, solid performances in trip prior. So, of course, Son is there because of probably because of the Burnley Norwich combo to end the season, because he has only one match. Um, in game week 37 compared to Richarlison and Zaha, who have double game weeks. In terms of transfers out, no surprises, I guess. With the injury issues, Dennis, Salah, Laporte all out because of injuries. Salah looks like he's not going to make it. Well, we don't really know. He was substituted quite early as a precaution. So, but
Yep.
the safe play would be not to have Salah. But I don't know.
Yep. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, the mount thing, yes, well, it's a problem. And but to be fair, it is a problem for all those who have Chelsea and in a way Liverpool players. Trying the dilemma is whether you want to keep them, or with the what will Klopp do? What will Tuchel do? Yeah. So for Klopp, he still needs to take care of his squad, as with the league slipping away, but the Champions League is still on the horizon. I really can't see. I think Klopp will try to win, but
Yep.
to be fair, he does have a squad that he can, utilize if he so chooses. Because the problem is like Diego Jota, who was substituting for Salah. He ended up playing 90 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, just about 90 minutes, because Salah was substituted like the 30,
If you want to find any Liverpool asset, maybe Firmino the most secure, but we're still not sure, right?
yeah, and Firmino hasn't been a first choice for a while now, so that's where I probably look at Diaz if I wanted someone here, but again, Liverpool do not have two matches, but they are playing Southampton, and it's really really attractive, because who knows what Southampton team will pop up. Yeah, so that's it.
Yep.
And on the Chelsea side, yeah, I don't know what the thing is with Tuchel. Chelsea still need to secure that Champions League qualification. It's not secure, and they need to win this week as well.
Yep. Yep. Okay, man. I think let's go to your team this week. You have what's your final thoughts this
Yeah. So
during the week?
this is not the lead because I haven't done anything yet. So with Salah still that captaincy, Salah, it's I'm at the I'm not
So what do you
sure.
think, man? We are in different position. Okay, I have
Yeah,
free hit this
yeah.
week, but you're the one who like other media might not have any more chips. So if with this concern of Salah injury,
Can
so
we can
called.
we? Okay, I need to do something. Can you go to your team first?
Oh, okay, okay. All right. For my team, okay, after the Salah news yesterday, I've updated a bit of my team. You can see that the Egyptian is no longer in my free hit team. Let me walk through from behind. Pickford as my keeper, and then TA, Cancelo, and Cash for now. Okay, this is the backline. Even though TA and Cancelo do only play single game, but I feel there's still opportunity for big points. Okay, away to Southampton and also away to West Ham United. We know both are attacking players and could easily produce another double-digit points. I have Cash as a rep from Villa defense. Okay, I think he's also attacking mindset. Okay, in terms of playing, it could be Digney, but I already have to experience with Digney, and sometimes he has not been easy to my to me. So I think I give Cash a try, even though Digney do produce some points last week. Okay, both game are playing at home. Now with Salah news, I have Sun now. Okay, I have Sun coming in against Burnley at home. You can see there I put the armband for now to Sun, who's really on form, especially at home. Zaha, the popular one from Crystal Palace team, he do play twice. KDB, because of his form last week. I have Diaz now for Liverpool Red, as Azmi mentioned. From yesterday match also, Diaz, you can see his apparent position, and also in terms of shot in the ball, shot to the goal, he's the more aggressive and attractive. I think he's the one, and in terms of minute, maybe he played less minute, even though he played in extra time. Mane do play 120 minutes. We also concerned of his minutes. But maybe Klopp will start Diaz, Jota, and Firmino. You never know,
Yeah.
right? Yep. So I put Diaz for now, okay, and he's cheap enough. At 8 million, still good enough in the team. Gordon as my enabler. He played twice at home. Watkins, in terms of Watkins, latest news, is now in my team. Okay, he's still in same price bracket with Watkins 7.7, 7.5, and Richarlison, who's the obvious one in terms of Everton attacking side. And you can see there all my bench is just filler. Foster could be Jakubovic if I want more money. Simicas 3.7. If let's say I don't know, Robertson miss out and Simicas starts and others, maybe he got a chance. Taylor, double game week players, but not so much love to Burnley asset, and Richard is a non-playing asset. What do you think, Min? The most obvious one, missing Kane. I could bring in Kane, but I need to sacrifice TA and Cancelo if I want to do that.
Yeah, so obviously Sun and KDB are some of your key expensive single gamers. Those are the two premium. As we discussed, we could have single player premium players and cheap double gamers.
So I do have 6 game week play that play twice this week. 6 still okay. 7 and 8 could be optimal. If I want to do that, I could downgrade TA and Cancelo to say, but Kane is the one lah. If you want to, I think the top 5 players is TA, Cancelo, Son, Kane, and also Salah in terms of ownership. So I'm missing Kane here, but if I want to do that, I'll be missing TA and Cancelo. But I'm not too sure if I want to do that, man.
Well, the sky's the limit, isn't it? Where with your team, capable of a lot of combinations where your single gamers are concerned. So in terms of the double gamers, you pretty much got those Zaha, Richarlison, maybe Gordon, and yeah. So those are going to be popular,
Yep.
and Ings might be as well, because since what with Watkins looking like he's
Yeah,
out.
I have money,
Ah,
but I need to sacrifice someone, Cancelo or TA, to change Gordon to maybe Coutinho or Madison. I have that kind of money,
yeah, I
but I'm
don't
not
know
too
if you
sure.
should. Yeah, I don't know if you should though, because in terms of minutes per expected goal involvement, Gordon has been doing really well. Although to be fair, it hasn't translated into the goals. But watching the matches as well on the eye test, Gordon is very much involved in the attack. So with at such a cheap price, I don't see why you need. I actually don't see why you need to upgrade him either.
Okay, all right.
Um, so yeah, so with Manchester City playing West Ham in an attempt to both teams having something to play for. It will be interesting. I don't obviously we don't expect KDB to score 4 goals again, but he is definitely in form, and with City looking to finish off the season, sign off, and with the league in their hands, yeah, I think it's KDB is the best player to have.
Yep. I think this the team. The only thing that if I want to do is bring in Kane and sacrifice my defense, which I'm not too sure. TA, we are not sure, right? But Gomez could come in, play midweek. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Mm.
this is the thing. Yeah, I mean, on your side, because you have the free hit, so if you want to reduce that risk, you can take out TA as well. Because against Southampton, you could still play Gomez in there, and it's still, it wouldn't be that risky to, from in my opinion, even
Yeah.
though they are playing away.
Could could could
Um,
could Klopp play Gomez and Simicas in the same game? I'm not too sure.
that
Binder also been.
Yeah, it's a bit risky. Yeah, and I guess this is why it's such a dilemma for Liverpool, for those with Liverpool players, because we know that Virgil van Dijk got substituted as well because he had I think it was a calf injury as well. Yeah, so you got Dijk getting injured. Robertson, who also was substituted, I think he had some calf issues. So if they start Gomez and Simicas together, I think that will be the first time in the league that
Yeah, I
Liverpool.
think so. Mm.
Yeah, imagine if Alisson, who had some problem at the start, if he was, and that's a question though with Alisson as well. Obviously he recovered and went all the way um, to the penalty shootout, but there's this lingering worry with me with Alisson that because of that collision, they may decide to give him a rest as well against Southampton. I know that will mean a crazy changed defensive line. Yeah, but I'm but I'm TA did well. There were a few times he sent in some good crosses and which could have led to goals. So you know it's up in the air. But it's for me it's too risky, Hafiz. I think that there may be better options as well for the double gamers. Uh,
Yeah.
you already have cash. Palace, there's no real attractiveness in terms of double games. Leicester, you do not have any representatives. So is that
I
is
know I have Fofana before this, but I'm not too sure. If I want, like I mentioned, I can get Madison or even Barnes in midfield. I'm not sure the rest.
well, you remember Justin James? He used to be such a awesome last season in terms of wing back, playing the full back role, and it translated in points. So that's the only one that if you want to if you
Yep.
wanted to replace TA, then maybe you know
Yep.
that could be an option. Yeah.
All right. Plenty of things for me to think yet.
Yeah.
So let's go to your team.
All right. So my team, obviously, I don't have a free hit, but I do have two free transfers to make use, and I could bring it up to three. I've got Dennis out, to be fair, um, and Salah looks like out, so I probably just have to deal with that and go with it. I'm waiting for news on Havertz, whether or not he'll be fit. James, yeah, again, it's really risky for me now, and so you got James, who we know has had injury issues in the past. Then we got Havertz, who may or may not be fit because of a hamstring. Then you have Mount, who missed the penalty, and so it's interesting to see what Tuchel will do. However, for me, I think I'm gonna just continue to play Mount and James. They're gonna go back to my starting line and just hope for the best. Because I have other issues I need to deal with, which is Salah and Dennis. And um, um, so it's a good question. So I might bring in a Leicester player because in terms of Villa, I already have Coutinho cash. I'm really looking at Leicester and Crystal Palace right now, and which is weird because both teams don't have anything to play for. But one thing I watched this. No, I didn't watch this. A friend of mine analyzed this Aston Villa Burnley match, and when they were 3-0 up, Aston Villa looked like they were still attacking. So even though Burnley were trying to do a counter attack, Villa didn't seem to be worried about keeping a clean sheet. So which gives a different perspective that which teams are more likely to, when they have nothing to play for, they'll just go all out and have fun, and which teams are just trying to get points and focus more on just getting the win. So Villa doesn't look like that team that even at 2-0, 3-0, they'll just sit down and shut shop. They look like they'll try to continue to attack. So, and Villa are at home for both matches, so it makes it really, really attractive if you subscribe to that line of thinking. So I may go Dennis to Ings. I
Okay.
think that's possible. And go triple up on that Liverpool on the Aston Villa. So yeah, honestly, we call it bias if you want, but I've ruled out Everton anyway. I don't care about Everton assets. So that means I have a space in the midfield, and for Salah, and that could be Son. If
Yep. I think.
just like
Yep.
myself, yeah,
Clear.
because it's the funds. Or if I wanted to bring in a double gamer, then KDB. Sorry, single gamer, premium.
Single
Sorry,
gaming.
premium
Yeah.
player, but
But
who's
I feel if you want between Sai and KDB, Sai obvious. And he's playing at home.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it sets me up nicely against Norwich the next game.
Okay. That's all for this stream. Let's pick up some question before we end the show.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, question.
Rakyat FPL has posted some question. We shall start a lot of question. Okay, we'll just pick up some of it. Sel Laporte is not in terms of minutes and based on press by Pep. It's not. I
Yeah,
think he's a sell.
yeah.
X
No.
million. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to risk him, and yeah, I think it should be fine.
Okay. The big question definitely sell Salah, and conjunction to that, Diaz a good punt. I think that's what I did in my
Yeah,
team. And he's definitely at 8 million, save a lot of money, and then you can translate that fund to other big players. What do you think, man?
yeah. So Diaz, yeah, he is a standout, and at that price, it's definitely affordable. He seems to be doing better than Jota at the moment, who's around the same price bracket. Yeah, but yeah, just bearing in mind he does only play one game, but it is against Southampton, so it is possible. Yeah, I'll go for it. Especially if you free hitting, and because if you're not, then you're probably trying to look and bringing in more double gamers. But if you are free hitting, I think Diaz could do really well.
Yep. Holgate or Mykolenko? Everton player both are cheap, 4.2 and 4.9. If in terms of stats, I can see some shared about Mykolenko who created more chances, but Holgate can do score some crucial goal for Everton and keep a clean sheet as well. So, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I probably go for the fullback. If I'm looking at attacking returns and Everton, yeah, I'll probably go for the fullback because I think that Mykolenko has a better chance at scoring attacking returns. So yeah, Mykolenko for me.
I do have Son and KDB. Who to replace Salah? Like I mentioned to Azmi, I advise Son. He's on form. Although KDB had produced 4 goals last week, but away to West Ham, which can be tough. And
So the
Burnley is not. Yeah. What do you
yeah,
think,
so
man?
the one additional factor with going for Son is that golden boot thing because he suddenly
Yes, yes,
suddenly
yes.
suddenly he's in contention, not Kane, Son, and and the situation is that if if both Son, okay, so Son and we expect Son and Kane start, but the position is such that Spurs might also well, obviously their first objective is to secure that Champions League spot, right? Yeah, but it may get to the point. Let's say if Spurs are leading, because it is against Burnley. Let's say the Spurs are leading 2-0 up, and then suddenly they get a penalty. what are the chances that Sun might get that penalty simply because they can, and they try to get Sun to win, and get some additional honors. I think it's
Uh,
entirely possible.
when you said about this, I actually saw after the match
Mm.
interview Astro with
With one,
Kane,
oh,
and I forgot is it Sheringham did ask this question, if you say there is a position penalty
oh,
and
okay.
sign his contingent, do you give him? But Kane like
No.
give an uncertain answer and say we shall see when that time comes.
Yeah. so so Kane's really, obviously we know that there was a joke seasons ago that
Yep. Yeah.
some random guy scoring, and then they give Kane the they give it to Kane, so yeah. But again, I think it's really depending on where the match is. Yeah, if it's 0-0 and then they get a penalty, yeah, I think it'll still be
Yep.
Kane
Yep.
because
Yep.
he's with John.
Yep.
They need
Yep.
to get a win.
Yeah.
But as I
Yep.
mentioned earlier, if it was like 3-0, and then with the game already secured, then
One.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
really really think that might happen.
Okay. All right. Next, who to bench? Alonso at home against Leicester or Nikitia versus Newcastle? You have Nikitia, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, despite the off day, I would still probably go for Nketiah. I'm not sure about Alonso. Um, yeah, Alonso did have a great game, and he's been doing really well. He did really well, and after the rumors that he had a bust up with Tuchel, and then but they denied it, and then he came back, played 120 minutes. He was a really attacking threat um, against us last night, against Liverpool last night. And he took free kicks. He sent in quite a few dangerous crosses. He had a few chances himself. Um, so I would Nketiah. I would. I know I have Nketiah, but I would probably bench Nketiah if I had to again, because I think Alonso is a better. Even though Alonso did play 120 minutes, they don't really have anyone as good as him on that side. I don't think Saul is anywhere near. So assuming there's no recovery issues, then Alonso should be. But it's a risk because the thing is, that's the thing with Chelsea and Liverpool assets, because they just came off a match, and we are probably unlikely to get any news about them returning to training after before the deadline. So that's not going to happen. So who knows if something happens after training. So that's the risk that you need to
Yep.
take.
Understand.
But the good thing, if Alonso ends up being injured, then Nketiah can still come in.
Yeah, yeah,
If
that's why. That's why. I think you just play Alonso. He has play at home. He has chances of attacking return and also clean sheet. And if let's say he's miss out, then kita come in. Yep, I agree on that. Who to captain, man? Richarlison or Son? Like we mentioned in midweek, double game week players against single game week players.
oh, it's
Which one
hard
would you
now.
go?
Probably
I don't know. I'm picking Son. He's on form. I cannot deny that.
yeah.
Richardson, he could be a miss.
I guess the advantage of Richarlison is because he plays 2 games, but the advantage of Son is that he's in midfield, so there's he gets additional points for clean sheet and additional point for a goal. Um, it's I can't answer this one. I think it could go either
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
I would
I think
probably
if Son, it could be a safe pick this week since Salah also out now.
yeah
And then maybe if you want really a pun or different, I think Richardson is the one. I think that's how you see it. Okay.
yeah.
Last question. Okay. From Zam, is it worth to replace Mount with Zaha and take negative 4 points? Would you do that? Zaha playing
Okay.
twice, man.
Yeah, so the thing is, Rakan FPL in one of his questions, we mentioned about Mount playing 120 minutes. So it is and he missed the penalty as well in the penalty shootout. So I think it's worth it. Uh,
I think
yeah,
so. I think so.
I think it's worth it. Yeah, the thing is, Zaha will get additional 2 points from playing a minimum additional 2 points from playing double game. I don't see the reason why he'd be rested. Well, there's no reason to rest
Yeah. Yeah.
anymore.
Uh,
So
uh, yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
going to
you
do the
like
same.
Yeah, like we mentioned, if let's say you are not no longer have chips and you're targeting players now for the next two
Mhm.
game weeks, Zaha fit the bill in terms of he has the three fixture, and also he has fixture this week, double game week, and also not bad. Although they're playing Manchester at home, Zaha could easily score in the final game week. So I like that kind of option, and Zaha is the talisman for Crystal Palace. I think I will do that. I will do that, Gam.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. So Zaha is, yeah, as you mentioned, he's the talisman, and I don't know why because he's clearly one of the performers this season, and if he's also trying to put himself in the shop window, then yeah, then Zaha
Yep.
could
Yep.
is definitely a good strong option.
Okay, man. We come to the end of the show. Just to remind managers, when is our deadline? Will be at 5:30 p.m. today because 7 p.m. is the kickoff of Spurs versus Burnley. So that's about it in terms of transfer. Do you finalize your team before that time? When you are still here, do give us support. Hit the like button and also subscribe to our FPL Jedi show to receive early notification whenever we are live. Your last word, man.
Yeah, so that's quite early, isn't it? For well, the Sunday is pretty much like Saturday right now, isn't it? Because but 5:30 is really early. I didn't see that. I think previously at Saturday at the earliest has been 6. So 5:30 now it's 5:30. So don't be caught unawares. Obviously we try to wait for some um last minute injury news, yeah, but I don't think you should, don't wait too long. It is the Spurs Burnley asset match that's first, and the thing is we haven't really talked about, yeah, you didn't consider any Burnley assets, but for those of you who are double gaming, get then Burnley want a Burnley player, then yeah, then waiting a bit for that injury news might be useful, but
Yep.
not too long.
Okay. Okay. Good luck to you, man, this week. And
Yeah.
also good luck to everyone. We hope for the best. We hope for the green arrow and hopefully to the end of the season on a high note. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.